Welcome back, guys. I'm getting attacked by a skeleton. It's coming right at me, dude. This guy swerved me like such a fucking... Look at this. Ooh, swerving. Look, he thinks he's so funny. Swerving me. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. The last couple episodes had original gameplay audio, so I just used them for what they were, edited it up. But I think from now on, I'm going to just strictly do the podcast, just because I have so much I want to talk about. Like I said, I got a bunch of stuff. I was kind of sad I didn't get to talk to you guys about some of the other topics I had. You love, like, Theodore got freaking... He was busy with the sheep. Oh, I also apologize. For whatever reason, the last episode was a really long episode. It was like a 2-hour long, like, raw footage. And you guys didn't see me finishing the roof because it got corrupted halfway through. The rest of the video got corrupted. So I apologize for that, but that's okay. Here's the roof. You guys don't get to see me struggle with the roof for an hour, pretty much. But yeah, today's topic is going to be kind of relating on the whole what happened to like a simpler society kind of thing, but kind of more diving more in depth with some more ideals that I think should be implemented in the next couple years and more readily available, maybe given more options for us. And that's what it is SolarPunk. If you guys haven't heard of SolarPunk, it's like a conceptual art kind of following that is gaining a lot more traction the more time goes on. And it's basically society integrated with current day technology, and everybody is providing for each other instead of like one company providing for everyone else or whatever. Like you don't really have grocery stores. You have more like local people who all have solar panels, wind energy, stuff like that. And like nature is more integrated into everyday life than what it currently is. Like, for example, my dad was in construction, and so he would tell me all the time growing up that because I'd ask him, I'd be like, why isn't there a grass or how come there's like trees every 5 feet or whatever, 10 feet? And he would tell me that the state has like regulations, I guess it's per county or per state or something, for how much foliage you need to replace when you build something, and it's obviously nowhere near what you took away. It's what we think is comparable to what happened, type of thing. So I just thought that was interesting. And if you go on Google and you type in SolarPunk, type in SolarPunk, you'll see the art that I'm kind of talking about and some of the concepts people are drumming up in their brains of what it means to them and what they envision a SolarPunk society be, looking like. I'm one. Me personally, I'm all for it. I think it's a really good idea. The only problem is I don't think the whole is all about it. I don't think the powers that be are all about making that happen for us as a system, because I don't think they probably don't think there's a lot of money in it. So I think it's up to us meaning your immediate friend group or whoever you want to do it with, to create this society that you want to see, right? Like, how involved do you want your technology to be? How involved do you want to be with nature, type of thing? So it's up to you to create the balance that you want. I don't think anybody is going to outright complete this large type of project. The only pictures that I could like kind of relate this to in real life is like stuff like Dubai. Just the way that some of the buildings look. They look like they're how would you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like, oh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Oh my gosh. It's like, the word I'm looking for is like, when you have a couch and you're able to transform it into other types of couches. What the fuck is that word? Modular. Okay. God damn. Like, some of the cities and buildings in Dubai look modular in the way that you could create layers and have like a garden there, and then like right below it is your house or something like that. I'm not saying that Dubai is the main example that we should be following. It's just, it kind of looks like some of the pictures that have been conceptualized by artists. A lot of it's very futury. Obviously, it's like a punk type art style. It's dystopian, but they label it as utopian, you know. So it's gonna look crazy. But some of the stuff looks really cool. Like, if we could get to the point where solar panels are a lot smaller. Like, I'm looking at a picture right now of it looks like a town center surrounded by trees, and some of the trees are man-made structures, but they've got like what looks like flower petals almost, like maybe like flower hairs type of thing. It looks kind of like mycelium, like mushroom type things. But if we could get to the point where solar panels are that small and they're spread out like that, so then you just make your own. Sorry for the garbage truck. God damn it, I gotta close this window. Trying to enjoy the fresh air this morning. Garbage truck comes by. But so yeah, if we could get to the point where solar panels are that small and they can be wrapped around that entire like branch, so to speak, and then you have greater surface area to collect solar energy, you would be set. You'd be ready to go. And then you just have to make everything around it. Like, for example, in the photo I see, it's everything below it is green. So it looks like while the tower is collecting energy, solar energy, the surrounding parts of the same tower could be aquaponics. I know that's a lot of water technology mixing together. They're not happy, but you could do it. I don't think it'd be that difficult. People make water-cooled computers, so it can't be that difficult. Oh, wow. I think what I'm just describing is a real place. I'm seeing more pictures with like people next to it and more of the same picture. Where the hell is that? Where is that? What the hell? Yeah, so kind of like what I talked about in the last episode with the Green Highway, and that podcast I told you guys about from the Acorn Land Labs about having a certain section of the city like blocked off for people who need smaller homes, who want to do farming of their own accord. Like they don't want to be dependent as much on grocers and stuff like that. They want to be more part of like a smaller knit community where they can all be relied upon type of thing. In that same vein, that comes SolarPunk with just basically integrating tech into it. There's a really cool video. I'll see if I can link it into the description, but there's a concept art video of what SolarPunk could be in the next, 30 years. And what's really cool, something I always remember from this video is this chick gets up in the morning and she makes her coffee, the SolarPunk way. And then she goes outside and she goes to look at the crops and then looks at them and she's like, oh shit, they need water. So she goes over to this like tower kind of pole looking thing and she, twists a couple knobs, pushes a button, and it starts creating her own atmosphere, like a couple clouds over her crops. And there's 4 of these poles around her crop field so that the clouds don't go further than what she needs. Like she's not producing clouds and fucking with the rest of the ecosystem, It's just like her own personal rain, which is crazy, like crazy concept. I don't even know how you begin to think about doing that. It's kind of otherworldly, but I don't know. That's just one thing from the video that I really like. Was like, damn, that's fucking cool. So yeah, a lot of the art looks like stuff from Avatar, the James Cameron Avatar, like really high vistas with staggering cities, stuff like that. Others look like really rich. What do you call it? Really rich inner cities. Some of them just have like fauna growing around skyscrapers type of thing. Others are concepts for mechanical work, how it would actually just come together, So I really encourage you to look into that because I think it's a much better outlook on the future than the latter. Like cyberpunk is a whole nother like can of worms, right? And it's not the greatest outcome, and unfortunately the way things are seeming, it kind of looks like it's going that way instead of the opposite. And I say that, and I can go into this on the next episode, or maybe I have time for the whole thing, but cyberpunk, right, in the game itself and in the ideology, whatever, however you want to call it. I'm putting the foreman up there, dude. They're getting their spots in the tower, dude. Hell yeah. Kevin's doing great, dude. Look at him. He's patrolling. But the whole universe around cyberpunk is based on corporations running everything, right? They run everything. And sadly, that's how today is. Like, there is, in the US, as far as I know, it's only the US, but in the US, is like one major corporation that owns pretty much all the housing in the US. I'm not going to name names because I'm probably going to get canceled, But yeah, so they own all of the housing. So, there's no room for stuff like SolarPunk to be possible unless that corporation wants it to be and sees it necessary. There's no money in saving people's lives. There's no money in making people's lives better. That's just because you'll have more competition. You know what I mean? It's a never-ending cycle of just bleh, And so cyberpunk is built on the fact that everything owns you. You know what I mean? Like you're not your own individual because you're owned by the corpse. You're owned by the city. You're owned by, you know what I mean? And I had that kind of revelation when I was younger, and I got my parents, they hanging on to your legal documents until you need them, right? So when I got my social security card from my parents because I had to go apply for a job, I looked at it and I was so confused. I was like, I'm literally a number I'm just a number. You know what I mean? Took this whole huge just mind fuck of a realization of that these people, like, they don't care. You're just a number to them. They want you to contribute to the society and put money back into the system, and that's it, you know? And unfortunately for a lot of middle class people, that's all you'll ever do. And I'm in the same boat. So it's just unfortunate, and I can just see it kind of going downhill in that regard. But it's fun to think about a utopian in which SolarPunk would become relevant. Making cities that are just lush, cities that are full of life and not just a concrete jungle, you know? Cities full of character and just different ways of thinking, you know? It's really cool. It's really awesome. A lot of this stuff too, if you've ever seen or played the game BioShock, a lot of that stuff reminds me of SolarPunk. It's like ripped right out of BioShock with like the fucking floating blimps. City is kind of like layered with like disc kind of architecture. Yeah, dude, it would be a sight to see if any city in the world started doing something like this. I would immediately travel to that city just to see what it was like, you know? Like, what's the everyday like in a SolarPunk type of city? What is your responsibilities as a citizen to keep that city running? You know what I mean? Because in order for that to work, everybody's got to contribute, right? Everybody's got to do something to keep the city the way it is. You can't employ enough people to do maintenance across this huge city, you know. If anywhere was going to do it, is definitely going to be a small town. It's just easier to get a band of people like that all on the same page. Like for example, say you wake up, right, and your main job is to, let's say, water all the plants on your block, right? And then after you water all the plants on your block, you have to go set up the rain collection system. And that's it. Those are your two duties as a citizen to do those, you know what I mean? To keep your city nice. And I think this is the other problem that it's going to have, and this is why it'll never happen. It's just because people are not reliable. People are not consistent. You can preach and like pride yourself that you're like, I'm the most consistent person on the planet, but you're not. We're all humans. We're all just meant to be here and experience it, and there's no way that we're going to be this consistent every day of the week. You know what I mean? So, and that's why they consider this a utopia, right? It's where if everything goes right, every decision gets made properly, everything gets built perfectly, everything has a purpose, there's very little waste. Like, it's a utopia, you know? It's where everything goes right. So, but yeah, I highly encourage you guys to go to Google, type in SolarPunk. It might get the wheels turning in your head a little bit. The art is really cool to look at alone. Like, you could get lost just looking at shit and looking at concepts that people have put together and just kind of peering through people's ideas. Like this one that I'm looking at right now, it looks like a mushroom city, a little mushroom house kind of looking thing. But it's modernized. It doesn't look like a Smurf house. It looks like a modern like castle, but with mushroom qualities, and it's got like spores on the top or flowers or something like that. So it's oh my gosh, I'm looking at the video right now. I couldn't get this place to light up to save my life, so I'm gonna come back and get some glowstone or something else, and really push the lighting, because I look how dark it is still. It's just the shaders. The shaders are really dark, but it is what it is. Yeah, go do some research. Go do a couple things. Go look at like what's out there. And I don't know if you guys have ever been to Meow Wolf. Meow Wolf is, there's one in Denver, there's one in New Mexico, there's one in Texas. I think there's actually two in Texas, and there's one in Las Vegas. But it is a local artist kind of museum, I would call it. Exhibit museum. But it's very interactive. It's very creative. And I wouldn't be surprised if an artist decided to go full SolarPunk on something and create a crazy room that looked all sorts of modernized with the fauna and all that type of stuff. So, yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. Just because if I go any further, I'm going to be talking about Cyberpunk, and I kind of want to save that for another video. This one's going to be a lot shorter. Cyberpunk I can get into a lot more. Just because I think it's becoming more reality. It's grounded in more reality. And unfortunately, I do think that is where we're headed instead of SolarPunk, which would be the better option, of course. But I think that's going to do it for today. You guys can just finish out the episode without me, sadly. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll leave the link to the video in the description. And then I think you should really Google SolarPunk and just look at all the art. I don't think I'm gonna put any pictures in here, because I think you can just look for them on your own. You'll probably find the ones that I found, honestly. But yeah, I think that's it for me. You guys take it easy. I'll catch you in the next one.